are the new laptops. Sorry.
Wow. What?
Some of us are fasting here.
No, we're gonna restart this part. It's just,
Yes. Welcome to the Tech Tarik Show, Lawyer.net's only official podcast. We are back this week with a Computex 2017 special. Now note that not all of us were actually at Computex. So today I have with me Pang,
Yes, I'm here.
Andrew,
Hello.
and someone you've never heard before, Nasir.
Hello.
Speak up, Nasir. Speak up.
Hello.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
So there's no news segment today because this is practically all news from Computex. So let's get started. Pang,
Yes,
you were there with MSI.
MSI. Yes, MSI invited me for their Computex press event. There are actually quite a number of them. I should start with the graphics card first. That's the most simple one. It's basically an updated version of the GTX 1080 Ti Gaming X11G. Basically, it was announced a few months ago, but they've re-released the card with a USB Type-C port.
Sure.
Yeah.
And what's the point?
Well, it's gonna be able. It runs. It supports Thunderbolt 3, so
Yes.
you're gonna get power and data transmission from this port.
Okay,
I'm
so
gonna let Nasir talk about this.
no. So assuming we've got a Thunderbolt 3 port now,
Yeah.
what are you gonna connect the Thunderbolt 3 port to? I don't think there are any Thunderbolt 3 monitors yet. Are there? Really?
5K monitor, yeah.
5K
The
monitor
LG 5K monitor for the Apple, right?
Yeah,
For
yeah.
Mac Pro.
for the Mac Pro.
Yeah. Can use it for them.
But I guess it's good for like future proofing as well, because that's gonna be like your standard moving forward.
I don't know. I mean, there's so many different. You got HDMI, the DisplayPort, everything.
Yeah,
This
but
is-
for like professional users, I think a lot of people still rely on DisplayPorts.
Yeah, so
HDMI is more like a consumer level, like VGA.
Thunderbolt at the moment is.
Yeah, not there, but
No,
yeah.
Thunderbolt as a general use thing, I can see. With Thunderbolt on a graphics card, I find it a bit difficult to get excited.
For future proof, man.
Yeah.
Sure. So what else do we have?
Okay, so that's the GPU. They announced 3 laptops, refreshed 1 laptop, well basically refreshed 2 laptops, and they have a new portable, small form factor desktop. Which one do you want me to start with?
Okay, which is the most boring of the lot?
Well, to be fair, most of them are pretty much things that you would expect from a Computex release, so they're all like refreshes from previous models and all that. But there are 2 new laptops in the GE series. So the GE series are like the enthusiast mid-range level of the gaming laptops from MSI.
So these are like pretty good, but not really good. But
it's
not...
one step before the flagship. So the flagship, the GT series.
Ah, okay.
with the crazy
So that's where we got
mechanical
here.
keyboard stuff. Yeah. So this is one step below it. It's not thin and light. It's not nothing. It's a mainstream gaming laptop. It's called the GE73 and GE63 VR Raider series. So it's just the Raider name moniker at the back. They're powered by Nvidia's GTX 1070 and the Core i7. But what's interesting here is that they are the first laptops from MSI. So basically all the 2017 announcements here. They are the first laptops to feature 120Hz panels by default. So you have 3 display options
Okay.
for these laptops, these 2 models. G63 and G73 are just different by their display size. 73 is the 17.3 inch, 63 is a 15.6 inch.
That's not confusing at all.
Once you get used to it, like you
Yeah.
can see that the naming convention is pretty much standard.
Yeah.
across the
Okay.
entire
So
range.
what is the Raider supposed to imply?
I have no idea.
So it's just
Because,
120
like,
hertz panel.
Before this they have the Titan.
Yeah.
Which is for the flagship.
The Titans of the big slide.
Titan, then there's Raider, then there's Apache Pro, and then there's GS63, which is the Ghost. I think they have a Ghost one as well.
Is there?
Yeah.
I don't remember going that
Ghost
low.
is the
one.
GS series.
Yeah, the GS is the thin and light one. So
Yeah.
they call it Ghost because it's thin. Yeah.
Sure.
That's how they kind of update their
There really needs to be. There really needs
yeah,
conventions.
that's a
isn't it?
Phantom somewhere as well, GS40, GS30 something.
Okay, so
Yeah,
120 hertz panels.
120 Hz panel, the 15.6 inch version has 3 millisecond response time, 5 milliseconds for the 17.3 inch version.
So these are 4K, 1080?
1080 only.
1080 at 120 hertz.
There is,
That's
yeah.
alright, I
Yeah,
guess.
that's alright. Like for a laptop, you gotta remember it's a small form factor, so it's alright. But if you want, you can configure it with, there are two other display options. So it's standard for both models. You have three options, which is the 120Hz Full HD model. The second one is a Full HD IPS model.
Ooh.
The third one is a 4K IPS model.
Still at 120 hertz.
Not 120 Hz.
So it
the
drops-
only one is the 120 Hz is that first option.
I will admit
Because it's
that
not using an IPS. If it's 120 Hz, it's not IPS.
okay, I'll admit that asking a 1070 to put out 4K 120 hertz is a
It's a bit too
little
much.
ambitious.
Yeah.
I'd like to try.
It's not gonna. You're not gonna get a really good one. So the 4K model also has 100% Adobe RGB coverage. So this is probably gonna apply to the more like professional users.
For who need color accuracy,
Yeah.
I think, yeah.
Yeah.
Not gamers. Gamers probably wouldn't notice this.
They might, but like it's just more for like bragging rights, I guess. Besides that, you have 3 storage space for the Raider series. GE73 VR has 3 storage space, 1 hard disk and 2 NVMe SSDs. The GE63 has 2 storage space, 1 as HDD and 1 SSD.
That doesn't. That's
yeah,
fine.
just basically you can have
That's-
up to 2 gigabytes, 2 terabytes of storage.
That's fine.
Yeah.
That really doesn't. That's not going to sell. The number
Yeah.
of storage bays you have on a laptop is not going to sell it.
Correct, but just in case you're interested,
In
the
what?
last feature.
No, in
Let's
what?
finish this.
No, seriously. What would you need all those storage bays for?
Some people don't want to carry portable hard drives. Like they just want to have like SSD for gaming and Windows, and then the other ones for like storage.
Just how much porn are you going to hide on that?
1 terabyte can save you quite a bit.
Fair enough.
Okay.
So yeah, the last bit here is with the keyboard. This is the first MSI keyboard laptop with per key RGB backlighting.
Huh?
Before this, all of their keyboards do not have RGB backlight. They have zones for what colors come up.
Okay.
So this is the
Okay,
first time.
I mean, I
that
just
the
assumed
keyboard-
that-
Yes, and then you notice that all the photos have the same colors on the same keyboard zones.
Okay.
So this one is the first time that they have full RGB backlighting for all keys.
Mhm.
That's not very important.
Clearly.
The last part. I'm just gonna end this with the last part. This 1070 is run on the 10. Oh, sorry. Before that, I'm just going through photos and just realized something. The one selling point that they're telling us about this laptop, it's not just the RGB backlighting. It's also that all 3 USB ports on the left and right side are glowing red.
I like that.
There you go.
Why?
It's a gaming laptop. It's
Yeah,
meant
that-
to be loud.
Yeah.
No, I admit that makes it easier to find in the dark.
No, this is when they're saying this. No, this is for you to show off. Like this
Yeah,
is
it's like
a standout feature.
It's not just so. It's not just
It's
my
not making
display. It's
easy.
from the sides
I
as
have a
well.
gaming
See it, so you can
laptop
see it.
with-
Like I'm showing you a photo now. Like you can see
What the hell is that?
on both sides. It's
What?
gonna glow red.
It glows like this tiny speck of hell peeking out from your computer.
USB 3.0. Anyway, so the last bit is inside the cooling part. It's gonna run on the new Cooler Boost 5 technology, which previous years is Cooler Boost 4, Cooler Boost 3. But what they're saying now is that Cooler Boost 5 is specifically designed for GTX 1070s.
that's so weird.
Yeah,
Like
so the
design
thermal
for-
design and all that is designed specifically to cater for GTX 1070 GPU.
Why the 1070?
Yeah.
Because the 1060 runs on the Cooler Boost Trinity.
Okay.
Cooler Boost Trinity is for the thin and light laptops, so the 1060 is always on the
Uh-huh.
thin and light laptops.
Okay.
Anything higher than 1070 is going to be on the GT series, which uses the Cooler Boost Titan.
Okay.
Cooler Boost
Yeah.
Titan has 3 fans. This has 2. This has 2 fans, 7 heat pipes, and 4 air vents.
So it's not actually specifically
Okay.
designed. It's just a different number of fans.
Different number of fans and air vents and heat pipes. So
Okay.
these two
This is not technology.
yeah,
This is
these
just
2 models have 7 heat pipes and 4 air vents. So usually most gaming laptops only have 2, which is at the back.
yeah, the 2 at the back.
They now have 2 at the back and 2 at the sides.
Okay.
At the back of near after the I/O part, so they're nowhere. It's not anywhere near where your hands are going to be.
Sounds
Your friends are going to enjoy this.
They are with the glowing red USB.
Yeah, and the heat being pushed towards them when you game together.
Yeah, so that's
You're gonna be that guy.
GE73 and GE63 series.
This is going to make you that guy.
Andrew was gonna want one.
Yeah, that guy is Andrew.
Yeah.
I prefer thin and light gaming laptops.
Okay, we're gonna get there soon, but the other one that they announced is called the GT75 Titan.
Titans are
So-
usually the
Yes.
huge things.
It's not that big. Well, it's
Compared to what?
compared to the GT83. It's not as big. This is a huge
Their
one.
car's not that big.
Well, it's still got the huge exhaust pipes at the
The
back.
exhaust pipe is just
Yeah.
stylistic thing they do these days.
Yeah, but apparently it's a proper one now.
Okay, so what does this thing do?
So, it's a little brother to the GT83. So apparently, when they were announcing this, the product people was telling us, our research and data collection have shown that people thought the GT83 mechanical keyboard was too big.
Gee, you don't say.
Yeah.
Wow.
So what they've done is that they went to SteelSeries and they co-developed a new mechanical switch. They are not telling us what it is. It is by a different vendor. It's not a Cherry
Okay.
MX switch. It's got
Huh?
it's not a Cherry MX switch
Okay.
because they are low profile keycaps and the travel is only 1.9 millimeters. Was it 3.5? 1.9 actuation point, 3.5
Okay.
millimeters. So it is running on a GTX 1080.
Okay, we don't really care about those anymore. Tell us more about this keyboard.
Okay, I'm just gonna run through
No, I'll read it. Our listeners can read it on the website.
Okay, cool. So
So-
it's gonna run on. It has this new mechanical keyboard switch. It's called Rapid.
Okay.
What?
Co-developed with SteelSeries
Okay.
because MSI has a long-running partnership with SteelSeries.
Yeah.
All of their keyboards have SteelSeries approved.
Yep.
They are low-profile switches, but are designed to mimic full-size ones. Strong tactile feedback, but shorter actuation points.
Did you get to try them?
Yes, I did.
Did you like them?
I felt like they were a bit harsh because it's a low profile keycap, so I didn't really like the instability. It kind of moves a little bit, the keyboard, not too much to a point like it doesn't feel like a normal
it
memory
feels
keyboard.
cheap.
I think
Because I'm thinking
That's
of
a good way of putting it.
wobbly keyboards.
not wobbly. It's just the keycaps kind of when you tap on it.
There's so much play on it.
Yeah,
Okay.
I see.
Okay.
but when you click it, then it has this like kind of artificial tactile feeling.
Okay.
So it might feel good, like for those who are moving up from a membrane keyboard, but those who are used to a Cherry MX, a full-size mechanical switch, may not like it as much.
Okay.
I just don't understand why you want to put mechanical keys on a gaming laptop, on a laptop in general.
I mean, people like the Razer Pro ones, the 17-inch one.
I
Like,
guess.
it's a low-profile mechanical keyboard, and apparently it's quite nice.
Still nothing compared to a proper mechanical keyboard.
Well, yeah, I mean, you're thinking of a laptop.
No, but if you want a mechanical keyboard, just buy one.
And it kind of attach it by a USB.
Yeah, you got USB ports for a reason.
Yeah, glowing ones. The Titan doesn't have glowing ones.
Does not have glowing
Oh.
keyboards.
See, now you can't have that. But it does have a built-in mechanical keyboard.
What it does have, so like the GT83, the keyboard was like pushed forward very far in front. Right?
Yeah, I remember that.
This one, because of the newer low-profile switches, is moved back to where the traditional like keyboards are gonna be placed.
So in the middle of the chassis
towards
thing.
the end of the chassis, right? So the armrest, there's a proper palm rest now, and they've coated this palm rest. So you can see it has this soft touch rubber thing where the palm rest is. So it's supposedly gonna aid in ergonomics for long gaming sessions.
There's no way that thing's ergonomic in any way.
It's soft.
No, so
They're not
rubber is not going to improve any ergonomics because
It's gonna make it like comfortable. To
Yeah.
no, but they're usually so thick, so your arms
It's not
are.
very thick lah. It's alright. Like you can see it's
Okay, no,
like that.
it looks as thick as the GT83.
It is about, but the GT83 is thicker and heavier. This is not as heavy.
Okay, probably not heavy, but it looks about as thick.
It looks big
Yeah.
because it's because it has an overclockable Core i7. It also has an option of GTX 1070, GTX 1080, or GTX 1070 SLI.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah. So
I
it's gonna
expect
boost
nothing
Titan.
less. I expect nothing less. It's
Yeah.
got the Titan in it,
Yeah.
so you kind of need that extra
Two
oomph.
huge cooling fans and 10 or 12 heat pipes,
Okay.
depending on which GPU configuration you have.
How much is this going to cost?
They're never gonna tell you how much this is gonna cost.
This is Computex. They don't
global
tell you ahead of time,
announcements,
man.
They don't tell you anything. But so as you were saying, you're a thin and light guy. I'll get back to that. There's one more two last announcements actually from MSI. They remember the GTX the MSI Vortex, the one that looks like a Mac Pro.
Yes, yes, that thing.
Yeah. So they've
this
gone
one.
and redesigned it radically.
So it no longer looks like a rubbish
It
can.
doesn't look like a trash can. It doesn't look like a Mac Pro. It looks like a PS4.
Yeah.
Is this an improvement? Is it?
In terms of hardware, it's going to be less powerful because it doesn't have a dual GPU lineup anymore. It's going to have a single GTX 1070, if I'm not wrong. But what I have to say is that this is the GTX, the Vortex last year. It has a 6.5 liter capacity, so it's already kind of small.
Yeah.
This is 2.5. It's tiny and it's light.
It's a PS4.
It's a PS4 with USB ports. Oh wait, the PS4 has.
PS4 has USB ports.
It's running on full version of Windows. It's a PC meant for the living room, so you can actually prop it up like a PS4. Like you can lay it horizontally. You can lay it out vertically.
This is a Steam machine.
Basically,
Actually, yeah.
It's basically a Steam machine.
So you've got a Core i7, a GTX 1070, 2 MS SSD base, 4 RAM slots, so you can have up to 64 gigs of RAM, and a Thunderbolt 3 port. So you have a VR ready machine. So the I/O ports are both located at the front and the back.
That sounds good.
It sounds like a pretty solid device, and they promised this one, the Vortex from last year, was it 2 years ago? Last year, the G65 was priced at 12,000 ringgit when it came to Malaysia. They are saying that this is going to be priced lower than the previous version.
Obviously,
You don't
it's
say
only
it.
a single GPU.
They've cut down so much anyway.
We're going to talk about it's a really tiny laptop.
No, it looks like a PS4. I expected it to be priced like a PS4.
That doesn't apply
with
to
a
PC
lot
systems,
more hardware.
unfortunately.
Okay, yeah. So that's that. Pretty interesting. The last bit is gonna move to like Nasir's part actually, but the GS63 and GS73 version, the laptops from last year, they are refreshed this year. Very, very minor announcement, but it's actually going to be in the bigger picture, it's quite significant. They are refreshed with the Nvidia GPUs on the new Max Q design approach.
Okay. The design criteria.
Yeah,
correct.
So we'll get into the Max Q in a short while. So, you know what
Besides
surprised
everything else.
You know what surprised me?
What?
You haven't said AMD once.
There are no AMD machines here.
That's very
No
interesting.
Ryzen laptops here.
Everyone else is like slowly adopting and moving towards. Yeah, but because I was listening to this and not once did you say AMD.
Nope.
Despite so many AMD powered laptops being announced.
No
at this
Ryzen announcements for MSI at this point.
Huh. Go figure.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder why. Come on, Nasir, our AMD fanboy.
I think it's probably because MSI is not interested in making Ryzen. Probably.
Really? Why? Why not?
Yeah, I guess.
Not yet, because Asus has the first one.
Yeah.
They're still, according to the Asus rep over there, they're still trying out the processor to see if it's any good to mobile.
Oh.
So they don't know if it's good for mobile.
It's a prototype device.
I see.
Okay.
Right.
Sure. Okay, so that was Pang. We'll take a short break and then we're going to get back with Nasir, who's going to tell us everything he saw at Computex, whether he likes it or not. So we're back, and so Nasir is always late, and this is just something you guys need to know. So we're actually going to start with an announcement by ARM, and they've announced some new processor cores, the Cortex A75, A55, and a new GPU, the Mali G72. Nasir wasn't there, because God knows where he was. So Andrew, tell us more about it.
So basically, the A75 is the successor to the A73. Sorry, A72. Yes, A72. And the A55 is the successor to the A53. So the 72 core is the so-called the big cores of the big little architecture. So it's a high performance, power hungry core. So according to, is it ARM or ARM?
ARM. It's pronounced ARM.
In
It's
my
an
head,
acronym.
I've been calling it ARM in my head all this while.
No, it's ARM because it's an acronym. Acronyms can be said out as a word.
Yeah, but okay.
Otherwise,
Anyway.
it will be an initialism.
Okay, so ARM The A75 cores are said to offer 22% increase in performance, which is a given. But the more interesting one, at least for me, is the A55 cores. So according to ARM, here I am, ARM.
He's not dealing it out.
Fine. Okay, so according to ARM, the A55 core is said to be 15% more power efficient and said to offer 18% better single thread performance. So it'll be more power efficient, it'll be faster, and in the grand scheme of things, I think this will help improve battery life by quite a bit.
But okay, so here's the thing: the announcement from ARM itself wasn't saying the focus wasn't on efficiency.
Okay.
But the focus was on what they call edge computing.
All right, we had a
So
discussion about
the idea here is they're producing more powerful cores, but they're not looking to make them more power efficient at the moment. The main goal here is to allow the necessary computation for AI and machine learning to happen on your device instead of in the cloud. There are many reasons for this, mostly because of privacy. So instead of collecting all the data and then sending off to a server somewhere and then processing and send back where anywhere along the way it can be intercepted, they want to do all the processing on your phone.
Okay.
So your phone is slowly learning from you. And that's what they're trying to do with these new cores. They're saying, you know what, we're going to put the machine learning on the device, or as much as we can on the device.
Okay.
Which is great, I suppose, because you're talking about all this. Your phone's always listening, and people are always scared that when it's listening, it takes all the information, sends it to a server for processing, and people can pick up on these things.
Okay.
But if it's all happening on the phone, that changes a few things.
So it's mostly more concerned about privacy than efficiency?
In a sense, it also makes it more efficient because you don't have to communicate with the server.
Okay.
Everything just happened there.
Right.
Sure, this might eat more battery life, but it makes the device more efficient at what it's doing.
Okay.
It's
that's
great.
Interesting. It's edge computing.
Did you not know about this?
It's something. It's like cloud, but it's not cloud.
Yes, it's computing on the edge of the cloud.
Okay.
You got the cloud computing, and then you're moving as much as you can to the device itself.
Okay,
So you're sharing the minimal amount possible with the cloud itself. Cloud is mainly for storage and virtual machines.
Right. Okay. That's interesting. So
That's the purpose of the ARM, this new Cortex A75.
Okay.
That's where it's at.
Right. The future.
Yeah. The other interesting thing that I noted was the big little configurations. They're now allowing you many more
they call
configurations.
it the dynamic CPU. Dynamic with a Q, not a C. Why?
I don't know, but yeah. So they're offering more configurations of big little. You can have one big core and many small cores. You can have two big cores, and it doesn't have to be symmetrical.
Yes. So previously, if you have like 4 big cores, 4 A72 cores, you have to have 4 A53 cores, things like that. It's predetermined. So what the dynamic CPU allow is they can have 7 big cores and 1 little core if they want to, or 7 little cores and 1 big core, things like that.
7 big cores, 1 small core.
I don't think people do that, but
I don't know why you would do that either, but it can be done
yeah, it can be done.
because of the configurations they're allowing.
So it opens out a lot of things, like Samsung could do a new Exynos lineup with this. Qualcomm could maybe make a whole lineup of Snapdragon processors with this. Yeah. So what makes ARM can use it for their own processors? So it's a big deal in a sense, but we won't be seeing any processors with these cores until early 2018.
Probably
what they're saying.
probably a bit later.
Yeah.
But I expect these cores to be more interesting from the prospect of what Microsoft was announcing, which is saying that they're going to start building thin and light computers based on the Snapdragon 835.
Oh,
This is their first step towards it.
Uh-huh.
So they're doing mobile cloud-focused computers based on the Snapdragon 835, and these will run full Windows. And they'll always connected. I don't see the 835 doing so well yet, but ARM's new announcement could probably mean that next year that these machines will really come into their own.
Okay, but I don't know how does Snapdragon 835 compare to say a Core M processor.
It doesn't. This is going to be very low powered. Like word processing. Please don't open too many Chrome tabs kind of processing.
So Punk's guilty here.
He's never going to buy it.
silent.
No, he's never going to buy it. Neither am I.
I mean, if it's decent enough. Could be a good low cost option rather than say the Celeron or
Yeah, but it's not aimed at
machines.
people like us. This is probably aimed at productivity, people who only need to do spreadsheets, or students where you want to prevent them from playing games.
Yeah, but then there'll probably be dual booting of Android and Windows then.
No,
What?
no, these are PCs.
But it would be
100%
possible
Windows
to run
10.
Windows and PC though. Sorry, Windows and Android then.
Yeah, but they've done that before.
Yeah, but it wasn't very.
Yeah, you remember how bad that was.
Yeah, it's horrible.
Exactly.
It's either you get a decent Android machine, a horrible Windows, or an okay Windows machine, but still not so great experience.
Exactly. So you don't want to dual boot. Dual boot is a bad idea.
But if it
No.
runs well,
No. So I'm just going to see what these new ARM cores are going to do for the next generation of Snapdragon processors. That's really where it's at now. And
yeah,
hopefully we'll see something happen next year.
big stuff.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
Okay. So next we will go to Nasir. You can say something, Nasir.
Oh, hi guys.
There's no point in nodding. Nobody can see you.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. You were there for a few things.
Yes.
So Pang's going to escape now because he has a meeting, and he's apparently taking Andrew with him.
Yep.
Sorry guys. Have fun. I should actually want to know more about this like Max Q stuff, but I guess I'll just have to listen to it.
Yeah.
It's a podcast. It'll be available online.
I will listen to it.
Sure.
All right. See you guys.
Nice to see you guys.
Bye.
Right. So it's just me and Nasir now.
Yep.
You poor bastard. So okay. Last we left off with you was the Nvidia Max Q.
Max Q.
So what's the big deal?
So Max Q is actually a design approach that's made by Nvidia so that they can work closer with manufacturers to create slim notebooks that is very powerful.
So we were talking something like the Razer Blade,
Razer Blade, yes.
but the Razer Blade is not a Max Q thing.
Not
It's
yet.
older. It's much. I don't think
Yep.
it's gonna be a Max Q thing.
Maybe.
So yeah, is that it?
Well, then there's a lot more that goes into how Max Q works, like how they alter the GPU, the VRMs, and thermal performance of the notebook. But in all, it's basically trying to run the laptop at a peak efficiency instead of running it at the highest performance.
Yeah. So from what I understand of this is that they will actually dial back the performance of the GPU just to maximize the power consumption.
Not maximize, make it more efficient. Dial back, I wouldn't say dial back. Okay, a little bit dial back.
They are dialing back. They admit it themselves.
Yep, but it's not to the point where you will see a significant drop in performance.
It's how much your drop performance.
Nvidia quoted somewhere between 5 to 10% only, but I've seen a Max Q laptop running during Computex. It was running Mass Effect Andromeda at 4K, and it was very smooth. But odd thing is they didn't show the frame rate. But to me, it was very smooth.
Okay, so define very smooth.
Very smooth.
Okay, wait. What laptop was this?
Oh, this is the Asus ROG Zephyrus, the new one.
The Zephyrus.
The
God, I
Zephyrus.
still hate that name. Yeah. Okay. So, but the Zephyrus is very high powered.
Yes, it's
like
very
a
high power
1080?
GTX 1080 with a Core i7 processor, and everything is in a slim, compact design, which is very, very impressive.
Okay, but admittedly, to get it to a slim design, they had to dial back a few things.
Yes, an actual GTX 1080 mobile GPU, a GPU runs at around 150 watts of TDP.
Okay.
A Max Q GTX 1080 GPU runs at 90 watts.
That's not a small reduction in TDP.
Yep, but that translates to only a small reduction in performance because of the efficiency. So.
Because you get diminishing returns. The more power you pump in, the less you get per watt over it.
You won't get the maximum performance of a GTX 1080, but what you will get is the efficient point of what a GTX 1080 can perform at. Other components that they really specify on was the VRMs, because in order to make a slim laptop, they cannot lose power. So most of you may know that VRMs are not perfect. sometimes they can lose voltages.
Yeah.
So for Max Q laptops, Nvidia had to handpick a very efficient VRMs in order to be placed inside.
So they had to literally test every RAM.
I think I wouldn't go to that.
No,
Maybe but because the VRMs, the GPU is in one GPU board. So Nvidia is in charge of making the GPU board and to give design consultant to manufacturing.
Okay, that's particularly interesting. Which I don't know. I'm actually okay. Admittedly, a 10% dip in performance wouldn't matter much.
No,
I mean,
no, really.
but then again, it could mean you're not hitting the magic 60 FPS.
No, I'm pretty sure it was running above 60 FPS.
4K 60 FPS really
Yep.
on a thin laptop.
Yep.
We're gonna get the Zephyrus in to test.
Yep, we should.
And if I don't hit 60 FPS,
I'm sure
you owe me lunch.
right. Okay.
Okay. Anyway, so that's Nvidia Max Q. How many more of these are we gonna see? I know RG has one.
So in Computex there were 3 Max Q design laptops that were announced. So the first is obviously the ROG Zephyrus. Second is the Acer Triton 700, and the third one is the Gigabyte Aorus X5 MD.
I'm not going to remember that.
Yeah. But one uniform thing about them is they're all slimmer compared to what we have today, the GTX 1080 laptops we have today.
So, any idea how much the price range is?
Oh, I'm sure they're going to be priced quite high because it is a new technology. But according to Nvidia, Max Q is not just going to be exclusive to GTX 1080.
Okay.
They're looking down until the 1060 as well.
But 1060 laptops are already rather thin and light.
So they want to probably fit it into Ultrabook so they can make it slimmer, maybe?
Man, are people still saying Ultrabook?
I don't know.
Is Ultrabook still a thing?
Probably, yeah.
Oh yeah, our sound guy is saying he's got an Ultrabook. That's not an Ultrabook. No, Leon.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Nvidia Max Q, cool. Now there's 2 more major things that happened there. The Intel
Core X series.
the Core X series, and the i9s.
Yep, the i9s and the new i7s. Well.
So this is Intel getting scared.
Yep, you can say that.
You can see it now because after Ryzen, you can see that we got to do something.
Mm-hmm. But actually, this CPU lineup is not really targeting at Ryzen.
No, this is
targeting the Threadripper.
Yes, this is the really the
Yep.
this is the processor that you look at and wonder like,
Mm-hmm.
do I really need that?
Yep, exactly. And it's going to be priced very high.
Oh man, have you seen the prices of the SKUs?
No, I haven't seen that.
So the i9.
With the 79, is it 79?
Okay, so there's 2 i9s.
Okay.
One of the i9s is the really the Extreme Edition.
Extreme Edition, right?
Nobody said how much that costs yet because it's got like 16 threads.
16 threads, right?
The i9X series is 999 USD.
That was what the previous Core X was priced at i7-695, I think.
Yeah, but that's so much
Yep.
less powerful than this.
Yep.
So what do we think of the i9?
I mean, it comes with from 10 cores to 18 cores. We do know that one of them runs at base clock of 4 gigahertz. The TDP of 140 watts, so that's quite a lot of power consumption. And they are running at LG82066 socket.
That's the thing because they need an entirely new socket for the X series.
And new motherboards, which is the X299 one.
Yeah, so I mean, who's this aimed at anymore?
I guess for people who probably want more higher performance, but then again, if you are gaming, I don't think you need this kind of processors.
If you're gaming, you already have the i7, which is already pretty solid considering that we've gone past the requirement for most games already. i5 works fine. So who needs this?
I'm not sure. I guess professionals.
I mean, I could run a server off it, I guess. But
true.
Intel has a Z Online already for servers.
And probably people who want to do rendering, I guess. It's much faster.
Will it bottleneck? Because most rendering happens on the GPU, doesn't it?
Actually no. GPUs run at how do I put this? Basically, some rendering can be done on the CPU.
Okay.
The CPU influences the power of the rendering time as well. Yeah.
So in other words, this is just going to reduce the bottleneck there.
Probably.
I mean, what the hell are you rendering?
I don't know.
This is like the next Pixar movie.
Yep.
Still, it's great. I mean, not to put down Intel for doing this, because AMD is doing the exact same thing.
Yep.
Let's move on to that.
Yep.
AMD's Threadripper.
Threadripper. I like that name. Really good name.
Sure, it's similar to the i9 in a way.
In
the X series.
I would say probably better. We'll see.
Oh, better. Okay. Describe the Threadripper, because we know you as the AMD fanboy.
Right. So, but unfortunately, AMD didn't really tell us much during the event. I think a lot of AMD fans were quite disappointed. But what we do know is that there will be quite a few SKUs for Ryzen, and it will be up to 16 cores or 32 threads. Interestingly, the CPUs will also have 14 megabytes of cache, which is quite big. Another interesting feature is the every Threadripper CPU will have 64 PCIe Gen 3 lanes, which means that for people who like to do probably multi-GPU configurations, they can add more graphics cards.
How many graphics cards are we talking about?
I think a lot, I guess. I'm not really sure about that. But
Because most modern graphics cards don't allow more than 2, 4 at the moment.
Actually, no. You can, if you do mining, you
Okay.
can do like more than 4. But for gaming specific,
Gaming specifically doesn't allow that many at the moment.
Yeah. 2, I think. 2.
2 at most, right?
Yep.
So we're talking what, Bitcoin mining now?
Probably, yeah.
Really?
So one thing interesting about that, the PCI lane thing is that, every single Threadripper CPU will come with this feature, 64 PCIe Gen 3 lanes. But Intel's high-end Core i9 700X, 7900X
Okay.
only has 44 lanes, so that means you can add only a limited amount of graphics cards.
Yeah, but 40, that's not to say fewer in the sense, that's, I don't have enough space already.
Yeah, exactly. So maybe for people who do, GPU intensive stuff that is not related to gaming, probably deep learning or something like that.
So we're looking at this now, maybe computers that, we're not talking gaming anymore, this is high performance computational work already. Well, I suppose that's probably why you need 16 cores at that point.
Yep.
So multiple cores working on the same thing.
Yep. So another feature that is interesting is that, again, all Ryzen Threadripper CPUs will feature quad-channel DDR4 memory support. Intel's Core X offerings, some of them only offer dual channel. So that's another plus point to Threadripper CPUs.
I see. Okay, fair enough. But here's the catch. Threadripper is huge.
Yes. So Threadripper is using the new AMD socket called TR4. So it's no longer using the AM4 socket which Ryzen uses.
Yeah.
So and the motherboard socket is called the X399, and it is huge, like seriously huge.
It's like 4 processors stuck together,
probably, yeah,
at least.
Yep. It's
And
really huge.
So okay, assuming that you're allowing for more GPUs and graphics cards to be stacked in, where are you going to find the space? Because your processor is gigantic.
Yeah.
The heatsink that we've seen pictures of, you saw in person.
Yeah, it's huge. From knob to wire.
Yeah. Okay. In all honesty, just how big is it in real life? Is it really?
I would say.
To me, it looked like the size of a table.
No, I wouldn't say that. Maybe half a business card, probably.
Half a business card.
Half a business card.
It's still.
Quite big.
That's still quite.
Quite big. But then again, for people who want to buy Threadripper, I would say this AMD is not targeting at just specifically gamers, also for high performance.
High performance.
Yeah.
So, Chuck was actually telling me before that even he's speaking to some engineers as well, and they were saying like, to be honest, nobody actually needs a 16-core processor.
Yeah, exactly. I don't think we have
Not the general population, at least.
Yeah.
This is the niche of the niche kind of products.
So I think the point now is that it's probably just bragging rights, probably from AMD.
Is it? I mean,
It's
Intel's managed to get ahead of them with the announcement, the Skylake X, Kaby Lake X,
yep.
the X series, and AMD's still taking their time.
Yep, it's gonna be announced. They're gonna be released in summer, so I think we're gonna probably hear about them in SIGGRAPH, which is in August. For Threadripper.
Threadripper.
Yep.
Threadripper is being announced in it's in August, isn't it?
Yeah,
Then they're going to be a few months late for Intel, whatever Intel's pushing.
Yeah.
Does it matter?
I don't think so, because people are still very interested in Threadripper. So I don't think that even if Intel releases the Core i9, people are still gonna wait and see how the Threadripper performs.
That's fair enough, but so what I remember from this is that Intel's always had better single core performance than AMD.
Yep.
And if you're going to compare to the highest level of AMD and Threadripper and Intel's X series, I think they got the beat because they each have the same amount of cores, but Intel has generally had a better track record of single core performance, and now it's got many cores running it at the same time.
Yeah.
You think AMD can catch up? Or do you think AMD is even bothering to catch up?
What they did with the Ryzen CPUs recently, they already did, but actually...
No, Ryzen has worse single core performance. Why excelled in multi-core?
Yeah, multi-core performance. But single core, if we talk about single core, then I don't think. AMD's multi-core, they're focusing on having more cores. So for single core, we'll have to see, I guess.
But it's got even like multi-core. Wow. I like the idea of many cores. I don't know how I'm going to use any of them.
Like multi-core is...
Except for Chrome.
Yes,
Chrome.
Chrome is one, and another one is like for streamers.
Yeah, that's what AMD keeps saying, right?
Streamers.
So I think the demo had like the game running, and then the stream overlay, and then an additional chat box, and then everything. But
so I saw someone in Reddit. They said something. They were rendering a work while playing games, and the rendering time was not affected at all. So you can see that the multi-core performance is quite good. But that was the 1800X.
Okay, still, tell me in all honesty, how often do you do that?
No.
You've never done it. I've never done that.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's great, but I'm
Practicality
not.
maybe only to some.
Yeah.
But then again, it doesn't hurt to have, that feature ready.
That is true. I mean, that you can grab a wider market at a point, right?
Yeah.
I guess. Well, is there anything else from Computex that you remember?
Probably Vega, which is not gonna come until SIGGRAPH, which is, a lot of people are quite disappointed in that.
Yeah, it makes me feel like AMD didn't actually say anything. They were just there.
Yeah, they were just there. Well, they did show the small mobile APU.
Oh right, the new APU, right?
Which is very slim, and I think that is AMD's answer to Max Q, but we have to wait and see on that. As for other announcements, I guess.
No.
I guess that's
So,
all.
Vega's coming out SIGGRAPH.
Yep.
Threadripper's coming out SIGGRAPH.
Around SIGGRAPH, yeah.
What did AMD announce then?
They announced that they were gonna announce at SIGGRAPH.
Oh, great.
Yep.
At least I enjoyed your time there.
Yep.
But you were traveling with a client, Asus, wasn't it?
Yeah, Asus, yeah.
Anything interesting from them besides the Zephyrus?
Well, they have. Right, we forgot to talk about the Ryzen laptop.
Oh yes, the Ryzen laptop.
The Ryzen laptop. So this is the world's first laptop with a Ryzen CPU, which unfortunately is not as thin as the Zephyrus. Where it has the Ryzen 7 1700, and it's also fitted with an RX 580 GPU and a FreeSync 2 monitor, which everything is like the world's first.
So this is like
An full-on AMD.
full-on AMD machine.
Yeah.
So Asus is trying to go all in with this. What's it called?
GL702ZC.
Not gonna remember that name either.
Exactly.
No wonder.
But
Okay. But is this the only AMD powered laptop at the most they announced? Because they got ahead of everyone else, but I don't think it's the only one.
No, it's not the only AMD powered laptop. It's the only AMD Ryzen powered laptop.
I see.
But I saw this laptop running games, and I can say that it actually runs pretty hot. So Asus said that this is still a prototype. So I think they're going to come up with some improvements in the thermal performance because it ran quite hot. I think the RX 580 GPU is quite,
I want to be surprised, but I'm not, because AMD has always ran a little bit hotter.
Yeah.
Maybe they're not cut out for the thin idea. They might need a bit more thermals in there.
Exactly. But I mean, it's a very powerful laptop, you can say that. But the RX 580 GPU is only 4 GB. There's actually a very interesting story to that, but I don't know if we can actually talk about.
Did you
that.
sign anything?
No.
Then let's go!
Okay, so basically, while looking at the laptop and Asus I talked to an Asus representative at the booth. He was telling me that the original idea for this laptop was that they were going to use an Nvidia GPU. When they told this to Nvidia straight up said, no, we don't want anything to do with AMD. We don't want our chip to be in the same product as an AMD processor inside. So I was quite surprised at that. But main thing here is that Asus is actually admitting that the RX 580 is not quite a suitable.
It wasn't the first choice.
Yeah, it wasn't the first choice, and it's not powerful enough to run a laptop this caliber.
That's actually very curious, wasn't it?
Yeah. But I'm as for I'm not sure whether he was just playing or I'm not sure.
Sure. Let's leave that disclaimer. Let's leave that disclaimer and that story.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
So I guess that's it from Computex. Yes, Nasir, thanks for dropping by.
Alright.
You don't even live around here,
No,
do you?
I live very far away.
Yeah, so thanks for dropping by the office to
Alright.
hang out with us. Bang and Andrew are gone, so thanks for listening, guys.